And I think that was going to be the last thing I was going to ask you to touch on, Sankaet, was like the economic trade-offs of prepaid versus debit versus credit. It feels like, at least what I'm hearing is prepaid possibly on the like lower regulatory burden, possibly less good economics. Debit somewhere in the middle, especially if you're in the US, it seems, with the Durbin Amendment, and then credit sort of potentially more profitable, but also in many cases a higher regulatory burden. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, so we can break it down even more. So when you talk about essentially debit, what you're talking about is like customers have funds sitting in their account and then they can spend it. So the biggest thing you have to worry about is from a consumer reg perspective is funds availability. You cannot restrict access of consumers to their funds and you cannot charge them fees that you haven't disclosed to them. Now, as you go into credit, you have to start worrying about, was there an adverse impact, not even an adverse action, which means, is there some mechanism or flaw in my underwriting criteria that might lead to an adverse impact? For instance, there might be like some strange thing that by and large votes people on a lower scale if they live in, I don't know, Harlem, right? So things like that. And then you start kind of having to worry about those. Then there are other aspects to credit, which are some fees are too much. So you have to charge people fees lower than what the state usury laws are and so on and so forth. So it's just like it's some additional obligations on consumer protection that gets added when you're doing an APR-based credit program that you don't have otherwise.